Good morning. Today I would like us to go back to January 20th, 1961. Now, I know a lot of you were not even born then. So you're going to have to rely on what you've learned in history classes and read in history books. John F. Kennedy was sworn in as President of the United States. It was about 15 years after the end of World War II, 5 or 6 years after the end of the Korean conflict. It was right in the heart of the Cold War. Was in the middle of the arms race. Intercontinental ballistic missiles had just come online a couple of years before that affected the life of everybody. 2 states were added to the Union. Alaska and Hawaii were both added as new states in 1959. In his inaugural address, President Kennedy did a good speech. He reminded us of the responsibility that we have to defend freedom. He reminded us of the lengths that we would go to assure survival and the success of liberty. One line in that speech, however, is the line that everybody remembers. I was 7 years old and watched it on a black and white TV, but it was aired so many times back then that you could never forget that line. And if you remember anything from his inaugural address, you remember that line. It went like this. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. You know, the line right after that in his speech we never hear about, but it was basically the same thing on a global stage. It said, my fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what we together can do for the freedom of man. In today's society, with everybody so selfish, what about me? What do I get? Where is mine? Protest on the right side, protest on the left side. Everybody wanting to defend their rights. What about my right? You're not going to step on my rights. I think it might be better that we as Christians frame what President Kennedy said in a little different scenario. If we just ask ourselves or said to ourselves, my fellow Christians, ask not what the world around you can do for you, but what you can do for your neighbor. I want to read Romans chapter 15, verses 1 through 4. We who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. Each of us should please his neighbor for his good, to build him up. For even Christ did not please himself, but as it is written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. Be safe. Stay well out there.